It's time for the Raleigh Road Show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Raleigh Road Show. This is the last show of the season. We thank you for tuning in. We've been coming to you here every week for the past 6 weeks. This is our last band of the season. Wanted to come out and support these guys, EFFIGY. I've known them for a while, and they wanted to end up strong, so we brought them on film for you. What we like to do first of all is to start a round the horn thing and let everybody know what's your name, what you play, where you're from, and how well you play it. So
yeah, how you guys doing? I'm Steve Lane. I'm from Jersey, if you can tell. I play guitar, and I play it the best I can.
Close enough.
Here we go.
I'm Todd Proctor. There it is. From Richmond, Virginia, baby! Coming at you down here. And I am the trumpeter, is what I say, or the drummer. And I play it to the best of my ability.
There you go. Well, we got the captain here. What do you say?
I'll give it over here to my man first.
Name's Jim, play bass. Originally from Virginia, but now living in Apex. And I really don't play well at all.
That's why it's with us.
Hey, we're talking about the bass, buddy, okay?
Oh, that's right, sorry. Actually, it's got 4 strings.
TMI, Jim, TMI.
It's got 4 strings, I only use 2.
Actually, these guys are the best musicians I've probably ever had the opportunity to play with in my life. My name is Christopher Smith. You guys will hear him call me Mr. Smith. I'm the lead singer for EFFIGY. I don't know how good I do it. I just do it the best I can, just like these guys say. So appreciate you watching and chilling, and everybody out there in Scooterland hanging out with us and about to hear some rock and roll in a few minutes, right? And being a part of the show. We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So what about how the name come about, Chris? Because EFFIGY's real, you know. Is there an acronym there? What's going on with EFFIGY?
Just by accident, actually. It was by default because everybody else wanted something else, so we all settled on one we liked the least. That's how it came about.
The least?
It stuck.
Was there a half into the word left off on the road?
No. I think everybody said nobody knows what it means. I said, well, and a year ago we related to the band, and that's what happened. So a year later we talked about EFFIGY. That's all I thought about.
Cool.
How to work that.
Cool.
An effigy, an actual effigy is like, you know, when they burn the flag, or when they make a puppet of something, it's something that represents something else. That's what an effigy is. That's what an effigy is. It's something that represents something else. That's what an effigy is.
We represent the music.
Yeah, we represent
dictionary.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, well, what we like to do also is we'll talk about, and we'll start on this side this time, talk about the influences you have. Let me just start out by saying Steve Vai's in town, ridiculously great guitar player. He's at the Carolina Theater tonight in Durham. If I wasn't here, I would be there, but I dedicated myself to these guys tonight, and he doesn't come around very often, so I was dedicated to the night. But Steve Vai, I actually saw Ted Nugent at the DPAC about 2 weeks ago, and the guy at 64 plays guitar as good or better than people half his age. So even though you may not like his politics or you think he's a wacko, whatever, but it's Wacko Ted and Uncle Ted to me. So, but let's start over here and ask who and what you like. Who are the influences that brought you out to be in a band now?
Well, if you look at the tat, you'll instantly know that I'm a huge Rush fan, and that's where I started at, learning Rush tunes, and been influenced by probably every other band ever out there, whether the bass player or the drummer. Anything that makes a sound is my influence.
Yeah. I kind of, as much as I grew up on the Crew, you know, and Kiss and all that stuff, I actually like a lot of things, man. I loved Rush. I loved Triumph. I loved three-man bands because they were just so big that they had air in the music. But the Crew and Kiss and Alice Cooper and all those guys taught me to do what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I can see the theatrical part for Kiss and Alice Cooper.
They won't let me set stuff on fire, man. They won't.
Marilyn Manson, maybe a little bit in there.
That's my Florida homie. Right?
Rob Zombie, some of those guys that are,
absolutely,
you know, on sort of a different level and different planet that you hear music from. So
my parents and my grandparents and all those guys, you know, they would always, well, why don't you listen to some country music? Well, you know what I did? I did. I'll get whiskey bent and hellbound. So, and they went, oh no, we meant Kenny Rogers. No. No. So,
Chris, won't you sing the gambler for us?
on a warm summer's evening. Yeah, so big country music. Big country music on my side of the family for me, yeah.
Waylon and Willie and all those guys. How about influences for you, my friend?
Well, where it started was, this is where Jim and I hook up, because it started with Rush. It was Neil Peart all the way, then I moved into John Bonham, and then I moved into like all these jazz guys, Stravinsky, a whole gamut of other sort of music. So, and it's kind of put me where I'm at now.
Yeah. Well, and who? What about influences on the end here?
Yeah, you know, I really like the English rock of the 70s and 80s, the progressive rock, the complex stuff. I really thought it was pretty intriguing, and that's what got me started on playing. I was just always in awe of it. And I think it was a period of type of music that, you know, you're never going to see again. But it was amazing. That was the biggest influence for me.
You know, and that's what I was bringing up next. There seems to be a musicianship level that's way up here. You talk about your Dream Theater and your Avenged Sevenfold and your, you know, these bands that just are ridiculously talented, and then it drops off to some of these other bands that aren't as great. Alter Bridge is one of the greater ones on that level. I mean, there's just so many levels that get missed now, you know, whereas back in the 70s and 80s you had your top bands and then you sort of it eased down the ladder, but now it's like great and average or not so good. So what do you guys think about the current music scene for rock? So
well, everything's based on electronics now. You don't have to be a musician to create music. If you're any computer savvy, you can throw a beat together. So and it's got its place.
A lot of process.
Yeah, and you can't take it away from people who do that stuff. But then again, I'm all for people who actually put their hands on their instruments and create something emotional.
Right. How about you, Chris?
I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle on that because in some ways I'm kind of a techie. I'm into having some synths. I'm into having keyboards. If auto-tune works for you and what you're doing, then by all means, you know, do it. But if you'll look on this stage right here, there is none of that. You know, we don't use it. You know, we don't need it. I think it comes down to talent, drive, wanting to do something and not be part of the, you know, the norm and more worried about playing tunes rather than, you know, necessarily. I mean, hey, I want a big house, you know, I want millions of dollars just like anybody else, but I would rather play my instrument than rely on a computer, you know, and even like you just saw, relying on even these instruments, you know, stuff goes down, stuff breaks, you get through it. So, but like Jim said, man, sit around with 4 dudes, there ain't nobody that does it. There ain't no machines. We don't run a computer at rehearsal. We don't run any computers and stuff, you know, we'd much rather do that, man. Exactly.
And I can completely agree with that. How about you? What do you think about it?
Wait a minute, what was the question again?
Well, we started with a lot of the great bands out there now that are fantastical musicians, and then you drop down, and we were just talking about using a lot of process material, that sort of thing, that makes people sound better than what they actually are.
Yeah, well, here's what I think. I think it's kind of gone in both directions in a kind of big, huge, vast space. So it seems like the bands that are really good, the progressive bands, have gotten better. They're playing more wild, out there stuff that's more technical, more challenging on the player. But then there's these bands that are not so good, and they seem to have gotten worse because of the auto-tune and all this stuff Chris is alluding to that we don't use up here. So to me, there's like a big gap in between bad or poor and really slamming or really good stuff.
And that's the point I was making initially. Do you have anything to add on
No,
that?
I think because today you can download a song. There's no more interest in making albums anymore. So the recording industry is really just looking for, one-hit wonders, get in, out, make the big bang on the one hit.
Right.
And so you're not going to see the long, 10-album contracts with epic bands anymore. So
right.
It's just kind of diluted the whole industry. Everybody downloading 1 or 2 songs, not interested in making albums anymore.
Well, this is out to our youngsters watching the show. If we have any out there watching, go in. Be a great musician, learn your instrument, be great at it, and then you can use technology and use the stuff to improve. But you have to put the hours and the practice in to become a great musician. So we also like to talk about on the show sacrifices that you make here. I know you guys, of course, tonight's going to be a little earlier night, but there are nights when you might not get home till 2, 3, 4 later in the morning, and that's part of family, friends. You give a lot to be a musician, so that's something that we like to talk about on the Raleigh Road Show.
How long
you
does
can do
the
that.
show go? It takes a long time to get into the
sacrifices.
But it's a labor of love, and they don't do it because they don't like it. So as long as it's fun, and we love entertaining people. We talk about our influences. We don't play anything over our influences. We play things that entertain people, and that's to us, that's what it's all about. So we get a rush out of that.
True.
So it makes the sacrifice a little worth it.
Well, it's the double-edged sword. There's not so great a side and a wonderful side to it, where you get to come out and entertain people, and people appreciate what you do. So
absolutely,
exactly. So
yeah, you gotta put the time in. That's what it comes down to. And when you're addicted like I am to it, you will make anything and move anything to make it happen. For instance, I had already played the drums for an hour earlier at a local festival with our Carrie Lazy Days. There you go, Carrie Lazy Days plug. And but it's like if I can get on those drums and be there for an hour and then come over here.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, that's right. That wasn't in the contract that I signed.
They'll come take me away in the butterfly net. Put that on. But no, yeah, you were playing earlier today.
Yeah, I'm addicted to it, so I'll whatever I need to do to get there to make that happen. Right. If that means not using the bathroom, throwing the drums in the car, and driving over here, so be it. That's what it's got to be. That's how it is for me.
Sacrifice. I mean, I'm kind of with Todd. I don't think you really have a choice. I know for myself, if I don't play on a regular basis, I'm just not a really good person to be around. So, it's not really a sacrifice in and of itself. You just don't sleep much. You do what you have to do, and that's about it.
I like the. If I don't play, I'm not really cool to be around. Hi! Ask my wife. I don't even, like these guys said, talk about, sacrifice, putting time in, but there is nothing else. That's the sacrifice, to me. The big sacrifice is there is nothing else. And it doesn't matter that we're making like I said, everybody wants to be a rock star when you're a kid. Everybody wants to do that and be rich and have a big house. But the sacrifice is, this is all there is. This is what you do. Todd gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning and goes teaches, and he goes play a gig, and he turns around and comes to the next gig. You know, I ran a sound gig. We played last night. We humped the gear back here. We did this. The sacrifice is that is all you do. That's the sacrifice. And what you have to have is you have to have a good woman with you. You have to have parents and kids with you that believe in it. Guys like you, they're like, hey, we dig the band. We want to come out and talk to you and do stuff like that. That's the drive. That is the sacrifice, is that you just do it. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate that. I think that's a great note for the end of the season to end on. These guys do what they do. We do have a little section called Showtime. It's a little trivia question. If you guys are up for it, we can ask that question. I'm going to pull the question up here now. And let's see. Having played bass in some failed college bands, who offered to replace Cliff Burton in Metallica and Bill Wyman in the Rolling Stones? We have, I'll give you a multiple choice. Tom Ford, Mike Huckabee, Keith Hernandez, Hulk Hogan.
I'm pretty sure it was
some failed college. Who we offered to replace Cliff Burton?
It couldn't
have been Huckabee. I don't even know, man. That's kind of dumb.
It's got to be Hogan, man.
It's got to be Hogan,
It's
brother.
got to be Hogan.
Let me take it, brother.
That's right.
Hulk Hogan, brother. Yeah.
Say your prayers. Take your vitamins.
And that is correct. And with that correct answer, we'll bring our lovely Miss Taylor up. She's going to give everybody a T-shirt here. We had some T-shirts made for the beginning of for the end of the season, and
oh, look at that! What's
they're hot off the press, so to speak. So we really appreciate you guys coming out.
They even smell like new shirts. New shirt smell. New shirt smell.
Smells like chemicals.
Now we look like the crew. we're the tech crew now.
You're the Raleigh Road Show. Absolutely. Well, let me say thanks to all the bands that were on the first season. They were fantastic. We loved it. We love EFFIGY, our new best friends here. So we ask that everybody, you go out, support our local music scene.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Get out and support some music.
Watch the Raleigh Road Show, and together we can help keep our local musicians and bands show on the road. Thank you. Hey now, Randy here to talk to you about EFFIGY. They were a very, very great band to interview, as you saw earlier. I really enjoyed doing the interview with Chris and the guys. You got Mr. Smith, Steve, Jim, and Todd. All of them were great guests on the show. As you can see here, they're playing a pretty good tune rendition of Pink Floyd, We Don't Need No Education. It's a great tune that they do here. Actually, it's some Floyd is something that you really don't hear many people around town play, because a lot of them, may not either like the group or appreciate the music, or don't want to play it, that sort of thing. But I think Floyd goes back to the old school stuff where experimental music, trying to play new things, things that people hadn't heard before. It's just a great song, and EFFIGY does a great job with it here. You can see they just have a lot of fun. There's just energy that you can see through the camera here. Mr. Smith, great performer, entertainer. I don't think that we had a bad group of entertainers this whole season. I mean, seems like of course I got to pick most of the bands from hand that we had on this season, but that's really, and to go back to some points I had made before in earlier episodes, but that's really what you go out to see, is someone who can perform. The music's great. You either recognize the music, or if they have original stuff, it's good. You know, you really, that's what we here at the Raleigh Road Show wanted to bring to everybody this season, was to show some bands that actually get some bang for the buck. You go out and you spend your time, you spend your money. You really want to hear and see some good stuff out on the town. So I think that Effigy does that, and then some. They even do acoustic renditions. Mr. Smith and one or two of the other guys might go out on the town, but I appreciate Effigy closing out the first season for us. And as always, we ask that everyone go out and support our local bands and musicians here and watch the Raleigh Road Show. Thanks. Here at the Raleigh Road Show, this is the last episode of the first season. It's been a lot of fun. I want to personally give a shout out to my friends here. It's been fantastic. Mr. Dan here on the end, running the cameras, doing an interview here, two or here, there. You know, you can't really put a value on that. I mean, I really appreciate it, and I want to shake my friend's hand here. I think that Miss Taylor here, we had talked earlier about it. It's like she came in about halfway through the season, through the 80s Enough show. I'm looking over and I see, you know, I'm like, oh, I want to get that picture. Taylor's already there. I wanted to, you know, I just look over it, and she's doing some of the things that I already see. So it's wonderful to have someone who sees the vision that I see, and I really appreciate that, to have you on the show with us here too. Mr. Eric, buff with the stuff here. We've known each other for a long time. He comes out and gives his time out to the show. It's, you know, there's no value. There's nothing that we can say that says, you know, hey, we thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. And he's my friend. So we, you know, that's what friends do. We back each other up. We love each other. All that good stuff.
So you got like,
yeah. Friends and family, brother. Friends and family. So, and then on the end here, Wendy. What the hell do you do over there, girl? Why don't you? I need to check your paycheck. No, honestly, Wendy does everything that I can't do. I mean, we had talked about this before. I might could do this show by myself, but it would suck. People would not watch it. But I appreciate Wendy as my friend, and we had a great time doing that this year. And we love Wendy for what she does for the show. Everybody on American Idol, Bucky, we got, Fantasia, I just said that. And then Kelly Pickler did well on American Idol. You know, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to promote our own people here, North Carolina. We want to make North Carolina the first stop on a stop for American Idol to pick up singers. I mean, New York, LA, no. It's North Carolina that's put it on the map, American Idol. And you can put that in the bank right now. Exactly. So what I'm saying is, if we get all the American Idol guys on one show, I'll get my director. I'll block off 2 hours, and we'll do a damn 2-hour show, Raleigh Road Show. And I'm not being ridiculous. I'm telling you. And we'll also, if that happens, I'll get foam suits of the logo with the yellow and the red red lightning bolts, and I'll make Dan and Eric show up in them and chase all the little kids around, and we'll put Godzilla and Halloween and give some shout outs to people who are here and those that are not here that we'd like to say something. For me, some people that have passed. My friend Jason Leosa, who would love to be involved with this show. Just a shout out to my friend, actually, and my Uncle Carlos, who died more than that years ago. He'd probably be here tonight dancing on the bars, getting in fist fights, all that sort of stuff. But I love you guys. We'll see you again someday. But we'll also, I think Eric's got somebody he'd like to give a shout out to.
Yeah, I would like to get a shout out in memory of my father. He's the one that got me into live music. I went to my first bar when I was 17 years old. Didn't know anything about it, and he was by my side. And so he's the one that got me started with the live music. So, Dad, I love you. I miss you. And I'll see you again.
I'd just like to say thank you to all our local restaurants and bars for allowing us to come in and film, and all the local bands that have allowed or welcomed us to film them and be a part of the show. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the show and continue to tune in, and hopefully we have more good things to come.
We'll see you all next season. It's the Raleigh Road Show. Thank you.